Bank Center, the Spurs recognizing their latest player addition to the Basketball Hall of Fame at halftime. And that, folks, was the bright spot. For a preview of what's on Instant Replay, here's Larry Ramirez. This was a beatdown.
It was. The Spurs could certainly use Tony Parker playing for them, especially back in his prime, right? The San Antonio Spurs were looking for back-to-back wins for just the second time this season, and they wanted to do so on a special night coming up on Instant Replay.
Gives me cheers, like to see those highlights from the Hall of Fame. It was super nice to celebrate something like that in August, but it's even more special to celebrate with you guys tonight, the Hall of Fame.
Tony Parker saw the words Hall of Fame added to his retired jersey at the Frost Bank Center, and then he watched the Pelicans hammer the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama did his thing with another double-double, but this loss prompted a short post-game presser from Coach Pop.
John Weeks, the snapper, Cam Johnston, the holder, Fairbairn's kick is good, and the Texans win it here in Nashville.
So that happened after Houston thought they had a walk-off touchdown run in overtime that was taken off the board. The Texans beat the Titans, who were dressed as the Oilers for this AFC South showdown. Case Keenum and Ka'imi Fairbairn led the Texans' comeback.
Like I said, it's not been our main focus. You know, we just want to go out there and compete and be the best that we can be, regardless of the outcome. Like I said, as long as the triangle travels, we'll be very satisfied.
But Kavorian Barnes and the UTSA Roadrunners would be even more satisfied to send off their seniors with a bowl win. Mary Rominger is in Frisco tonight as we begin our Scooters Frisco Bowl game coverage between UTSA and the Marshall Thundering Herd. Plus, the Texas Longhorns are national champions in volleyball again. And you know what? The Dallas Cowboys didn't look like a championship contender at all in Buffalo. That and more coming up on Instant Replay.
No, they did not. I cannot decide yet if the Tennessee Titans wearing the Oilers uniforms was a nice homage or the ultimate disrespect.
I kind of feel like disrespect.
But then they got disrespected.
Exactly.
They lost, so it worked out well. Thank you, Larry. We'll talk all about that later, and we'll have more news on the other side of this. It's hard to imagine living without a limb, and people without legs in underdeveloped countries who lose their ability to provide for their families and help raise their children when that happens. But thanks to a team right here in San Antonio, they are getting their lives back.
Yeah, the answer lies in these mobility carts. I got to tour that local warehouse this week to watch how they're made and see what type help the team needs.
Polio, landmines, diabetes, birth defects. Some of the reasons people in underdeveloped countries end up without legs.
You see somebody who has been on the ground, who has been crawling for so many years, and now they are at levels where they can go again.
All because of people like Jody Sell, who helps build these mobility carts. Mobility Worldwide has now shipped out 100,000 carts across the world. The San Antonio chapter has made 2,000 of those.
We have the wood section here. We have the metal section here. I mostly cut the wood, then we drill, we paint, and then we finally assemble.
The work is intricate. Each cart has about 260 pieces.
This piece of metal will be in there, and this blade will trim it down to what it is that we need.
The last step is assembly.
We will make the seats. We will also put a padding on, so that they're not sitting on hardwood.
And then somebody needs to test it.
This is very, very smooth. But imagine doing it on dirt or rocks. Yeah.
The three big wheels help people who live in villages with rough, uneven roads.
Once they have mobility, this enables them to do other things.
San Antonio chapter president Thomas Martin showed us pictures of people who sell goods out of their cart or can finally get their kids to school.
I just view this as a tremendously good cause.
To keep up their pace, though, they don't just need more funding, they need more volunteers. Anyone who likes to work with their hands, learn new skills, but mostly help provide strength, joy, and dignity to people all over the world. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Really incredible operation they have there, yeah. 2 recalls related to a massive salmonella outbreak are going on right now. The first recall linked to cantaloupe. So far, there are 302 cases in 42 different states in the U.S. 4 people have died from the outbreak, 3 in Minnesota and 1 in Oregon. Malachata and Ruby brand whole cantaloupes are now being recalled. They're sold nationwide at Aldi, Trader Joe's, Quick Trip, Kroger, Sprouts, and Racetrack. The CDC also warns not to eat pre-cut cantaloupe if the brand is not posted on the label.
That other recall focuses on several Quaker Oats products. Even though the company hasn't received any reports of salmonella infection related to their foods, they are still asking customers to throw out a litany of their granola bars and cereals that may, just in order to avoid any possible problems. Now, that entire list can be found right now on our website. You can report your recalled products to Quaker for a reimbursement.
All right, heading back outside with live cam. Temperatures falling into the 40s this hour. And yes, it is going to be another chilly start first thing Monday morning. Speaking of that chilly start, we took a look at those overnight lows from last night and early this morning. We were below average here in San Antonio by about 6 degrees. But with that sunshine today, afternoon highs topping off near 70. So a big temperature spread from this morning to this afternoon, also above average. But that low humidity made it feel pretty pleasant out there. It was 73 in Gonzales, 76 in Cotulla. Most of us were able to climb into the 70s with the exception of Rock Springs, upper 60s. That was it out there on the thermometer earlier today. And that's pretty much where we are going to stay as we look ahead to the upcoming week with those daytime highs topping off upper 60s, low 70s. And then we monitor those chances for rain that look to return ahead of and into next weekend. So once again, we'll get you the latest look at that coming up a little bit later on.
We'll see you then. To politics now, former President Donald Trump doubling down on his recent comments about illegal immigrants that some are comparing to modern-day dictators.
The Biden campaign and some GOP hopefuls are condemning the remarks, but as Mary Alice Park explains, the former president remains a heavy favorite in the polls.
Tonight, Donald Trump under fire after he once again seemed to praise modern dictators and use language echoing that of white supremacists.
What he's doing is dog whistling to Americans who feel absolutely under stress and strain from the economy and from the conflicts around the world. And he's dog whistling it to blame it on people from areas that don't look like us.
Overnight in New Hampshire at a campaign rally, the former president and Republican primary frontrunner using rhetoric mirroring that of Nazi propaganda while attacking immigrants.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done.
Trump even quoting the United States adversary, Vladimir Putin, in an effort to mock his own political rivals.
Vladimir Putin. Has anybody ever heard of Vladimir Putin? Of Russia says that Biden's, and this is a quote, politically motivated persecution of his political rival is very good for Russia.
In the same speech, he called North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un a nice guy. But New Hampshire's popular Republican Governor Chris Sununu, a quote, spoiled brat. While Trump leads in polling by 25 points in New Hampshire, Nikki Haley is gaining ground. Governor Sununu endorsing Haley, saying he thinks she can best Trump and Biden. But many of these voters in Trump's crowd say they're sticking with him till the end.
Our world is united with Trump. He's going to close the border. He's going to put America first.
Still to come, 2 Cibolo homeowners say they're dealing with a pair of nightmare tenants. But those tenants say it's the landlord that's to blame. KSAT investigates why police have now gotten involved in the dispute. All right, 2 homeowners in Cibolo are sounding the alarm on a pair of nightmare tenants. The couple with 5 children says it's the landlords who are causing the issues. KSAT investigates uncovered dozens of calls to police with allegations of child and animal abuse. Lee Waldman takes us inside one home that the landlord is calling a biohazard area.
They're no longer allowed to enter the premises after the date that's posted on there.
After months of battling, Will Sherman has control of his home again after dealing with what he calls nightmare renters. The home where he raised his own family, destroyed.
The smell of death just hit me, right in the face. Walking through the home was horrifying, seeing everything.
This is one of 4 dumpsters that's been filled with items that were left inside of this home, but what's still in there is just as bad.
You can actually see roaches.
Bugs, the smell of urine and feces, needles on the ground, torn up carpets. That's the toned down version of what Sherman found in his home after getting his renters, Brandon and Kyle Garrett, and their children out.
There were 5 kids living in this. To know that they had all of these dogs that were just left here in the heat of the summer with no air conditioning, no power or anything, just left here to fend for themselves, it's heartbreaking.
Sherman says 2 dead dogs and the leg of a third were found inside the upstairs bedroom. He rented this home to the Garretts for 3 years between 2020 and 2023. Cibolo police were called 24 times in that span, everything from Child Protective Services complaints, cruelty to animals, and assault calls. Rent was getting paid later and later until Sherman says he reached a breaking point this summer and decided to file for eviction.
Their response was, do what you need to do. It takes 30 days to file for eviction. We'll be out by the end of July.
In August, Sherman says he didn't see anyone in the home, so he changed the locks. That's when Garrett shattered the back sliding glass door, a fact he admitted to himself in our interview.
You know, my dogs had been in there for a week, no food. I hadn't seen any sign of anybody coming in, so I broke the sliding glass door down.
The rest of their family moved out that summer because of health issues his husband Kyle was experiencing. This happened in a week.
It wasn't like that when I left.
Garrett promised to send pictures of how he allegedly left the home, but those still haven't come. But this isn't the first time the couple has been accused of trashing a rental home in the Cibolo area.
Walked in the house and immediately got sick because they had destroyed the entire house.
Michael Singleton rented to the Garretts from 2013 to 2017. He says the couple consistently paid their rent late, or not at all in that final year. After filing for eviction, Singleton went to court in 2018 to try and accrue the $25,000 needed to fix the damage left behind.
I only went to small claims court with them and got $10,000 awarded.
Garrett has an explanation for what happened with Singleton as well.
Everything was going great with him until Kyle came out as transgender.
Garrett says their issues as renters started when they moved to Cibolo, and he has every intention of paying the money he owes Singleton. As for Sherman, he's still trying to get his home back in livable condition. Then he'll be pursuing legal action as well.
I'm going to pursue every avenue that I have.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Lee Waldman.
Cibolo Animal Control still investigating after the bodies of the dogs were found inside of Sherman's home to determine if any criminal charges will be filed. A more in-depth look at the weather when we return. At the point in the show where I had to ask Courtney, what are we doing?
You good?
What's next?
You good? All right, we're good. Mia's here.
Hi, so I guess it must mean it's time for another check of the weather. Yep, that's it. All right, so we still have a beautiful start to the week. That's really in store over the next couple of days before we start to see a few changes work back in as the humidity does so as well, just ahead of and into next weekend. So let's get you another look at those weather headlines, what we're going to be monitoring over the next 7 days leading up to the Christmas holiday. Quiet and comfy early this week. Chilly mornings with lows in the 40s, highs in the 60s, so very pleasant and comfortable into the afternoon. Late this week, again, that's when we're expected to see more of that moisture work back in. The cloud cover does so as well. Some drizzle and a few light showers possible as early as Thursday. Overcast skies return then too. And then into next weekend, just isolated on Saturday, but for your Christmas Eve on Sunday, that's when we could see maybe a few more notable showers before we dry things out as we head into Christmas Day next Monday. So there's that chilly start. First thing tomorrow, 41 degrees at 7 a.m. here in San Antonio, maybe just a degree warmer into Tuesday morning. So it is still going to be a cold start there as well. But you can see by the middle of the week and even into this weekend, those overnight lows come up 50s and even a few low 60s, well above average for this time of year. That coincides with that Gulf moisture and the humidity returning. You can see right now, as we take a look at those dew points across South Central Texas, in the 30s and 40s, very dry out there. And that's still going to be the theme tomorrow and into Tuesday. But by Wednesday, an area of high pressure is going to set up off to our northeast. And with where we're positioned in relation to that high pressure system, that means winds here at the surface flip in from the southeast, and that will allow more of that Gulf moisture to move back in. So with all of the moisture in place and then the energy associated with this upper level disturbance moving in from the west, rest. By Thursday, some pockets of drizzle, a few light showers possible into Friday there as well. Saturday just very isolated, but into Christmas Eve on Sunday, we've got it at about a 30% potential. Then we'll monitor what that means for your Christmas Day on Monday. But as of right now, that system looks to be a bit more progressive and moving on out of here. That's something to check back in on in the coming days. You will not need the rain gear early this week, but probably a good idea to at least keep it in the car by the time Thursday rolls around, should you need to use it. Whatever we do find out there will definitely help as we try to continue chipping away at the prolonged drought still in place. If you missed it, this is the latest drought monitor update that was released on Thursday. It does not include the rainfall totals that we saw on Friday. Really, we were just up to about 0.2 of an inch here in San Antonio with Friday's activity. We still have extreme drought in place here in San Antonio, pointing farther up to the north across portions of the hill country and up the I-35 corridor there as well. So we'll definitely see what we can find before we close out 2023. All right, temperature-wise, again, right now we are falling pretty efficiently, upper 40s already here in town. Winds out of the west-northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's 48 in Hondo, 52 in Pleasanton. Check out Kerrville, already in the upper 30s this hour. Mid-30s probably where you're going to start first thing tomorrow morning. Low 40s for us here in San Antonio and across a good chunk of south central Texas. Again, I do think some high clouds are going to stream across the sky, but that's just filtered sunshine. We'll still see plenty of it. 56 degrees by 10 a.m., 66 degrees by 1 p.m. Those forecast highs topping off right near that 70-degree mark. So slightly above average for this time of year, but it is still going to be very nice there as well. So that will be the theme tomorrow and into Tuesday. I think by Tuesday we could see maybe a few more clouds move in. 66 degrees, the forecast high temperature there. A few degrees warmer into Wednesday, both in terms of your morning low as well as your afternoon high. Then the cloud cover really takes hold by Thursday and Friday as we introduce those chances for rain, which will continue into the weekend. So again, we will continue to keep you posted on those disturbances moving in by Christmas Eve and see just how progressive that's going to be when it comes to travel plans and into Christmas Day there as well. So all of that will be found on all of our platforms throughout the week, guys.
No Arctic blast for Christmas this year here.
Yeah, that's fine. People want to stay inside anyway. I think a little dreary weather would be good.
Hope you guys enjoy.
All right, another new movie topped the box office this weekend. See which one took the crown in this weekend's early estimates. Next on the Nightbeat.
May the odds be ever in your
Trolls Band Together slipped to 5th place this weekend on ticket sales of $4 million, while Godzilla Minus One stomped back to 4th place with $4.9 million. Just ahead of it, The Boy and the Heron landed in 3rd with $5.2 million.
The Hunger Games, they're to punish the districts. Those tributes don't have a choice.
The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, held on to 2nd place this weekend, adding $5.8 million to its domestic total, which now stands at $145 million.
And chocolate maker.
The best chocolate in the world.
Ooh. Wonka wins weekend. The Willy Wonka origin story wrapped up its first place win with $39 million. That's just at the domestic box office. Variety reports the movie's worldwide total now sits at just over $151 million. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
I want some nerds and gobstoppers and all the good stuff. The Houston Texans are feeling good about themselves after an overtime win on the road at the Tennessee Titans.
The Dallas Cowboys not so much after suffering an embarrassing loss at the Buffalo Bills. For more What's on Instant Replay, Larry Ramirez. You make me say embarrassing.
It is an embarrassing loss, but they still clinched a playoff berth despite that. So if the Dallas Cowboys could play all of their games at home, they'd be a Super Bowl contender for sure, right? On the road, completely different story coming up tonight on Instant Replay.
So the Cowboys able to put together a drive and at least something to build on for next week. Finally finding the end zone as Lamb will do it.
CeeDee Lamb scored a late touchdown against the Bills, but before that, this game was all Buffalo. The Bills' running attack did a number on the Dallas defense, and now the boys are asking themselves once again, why are we better at home than on the road? Hear what Dak Prescott had to say about that after the game.
You got to be gritty. You got to be willing to stand up when you get punched in the face and get knocked down, get back up, and go do it. And there was no blinking on that sideline. Nobody blinked.
Houston Texans quarterback Case Keenum says the Texans embrace adversity, and they overcame some today while winning on the road at the Tennessee Titans after trailing 13-0 early on, and the win helped the Texans keep pace for a wild card spot in the AFC. Plus, it was a special night for Tony Parker at the Frost Bank Center, and Nick Mantis sat down with 2 area college student athletes who are not letting diabetes slow them down with a very cool name, image, and likeness deal. That and more coming up right after the Night Beat.
Love the NIL. We'll look forward to that.
Cool.
Thanks, Larry.
And we'll be right back.